Hey guys, what's up? It's Austin Cloud, Coast to Cloud today, and I got back from Disneyland I think like 2 weeks ago now. That was an amazing trip. By now you've seen all like the cinematic footage, all the vlogs and everything that I put out. And so I talked about how I was gonna do a Rise of the Resistance review, and I haven't really done that for some reason. I've had the time. I've been indoors like all 2 weeks, and so, but in any case, I have everything collected, all my thoughts on it. The only thing is, I only got one ride, and I love that ride so much. It is so good. Starting it off, I walked into it not watching any POVs or anything, because I heard like, okay, this ride's gonna be amazing. You're not gonna want to see a POV, and so I heeded the warning. I stayed away from POVs to that ride. My brother wanted to see a POV because like he's scared of rides, and so I had to show him that to get him on, but I didn't watch. I had to look away the entire time. This ride, I'm gonna start off with the queue line. The queue line is my favorite queue of all time. It's just I would not mind waiting in it at all. The queue is basically a resistance weapon locker. I don't think that's a spoiler for anybody, but it's a resistance weapon locker, and it is super super cool. The next part is you go through the queue and you have like you get down to the state. Okay, here is where I spoil it for everybody. Okay, so skip ahead to whatever. I'm gonna list the time right here when I edit the video, but skip ahead to whatever so you don't hear all the spoilers. Okay, hopefully you did that by now. So you go into this U-wing, or I don't know what type of ship it is, but you walk inside and it's like I don't know if it goes up or down, but it is like if you've ridden Star Tours, which I'm assuming if you went to Disneyland, you've probably ridden Star Tours. It's kind of like that, only you're not sitting down, you're standing up and you're holding on to it. It's like a mini version of Star Tours. So that in and of itself is like a ride, and it's super cool. And then what shocked me is somehow in a you somehow end up in this Star Destroyer like docking bay, and there's stormtroopers all over the place. I don't know if they're real or not because I'm like, what? You can ask my mom too. Like, my jaw was to the floor. I had no idea that any of this was happening, and I was just sitting there like, this is insane. And of course, like the ops are Imperials. They're like Imperial officers. They like guide you to your seats and stuff. And they're actually really good at acting like Imperial officers. And what's kind of funny is that I had this little nugget with me that I bought. I freaking love this, by the way. I also got a porg and a lightsaber. But my mom tried to out me for having that in the Imperial ship, and I was like, no, we're not doing this right now. I'm not kidding, like, because I don't know what was gonna happen if they saw that. Probably nothing bad. They probably just been like said something snarky, but either way, it was awesome that experience. And then they have you wait in this room with a bunch of people, and it's like Kylo Ren like telling you you're gonna give me information or something, and then Finn breaks you out and gets you onto transports, or Rebels break you out and get you onto transports, and that part is just nuts, dude. Like, it's so cool. And then like that's when the ride starts, and this ride, I'm not gonna like go into detail of the ride. That was like the waiting experience, but the ride is really like just it looks so real, and it feels just insane. It's such an awesome ride. Anyway, so spoiling is over. Now I'm just going to go over what I thought about it. The effects are super cool. They're, like I said, they're really realistic. With all like the Kylo Ren stuff and the lightsaber stuff, they're really really cool. The movement of the cars is awesome. It's magnetic, and then there's a lot of different features to the ride that kind of like it really adds to the storyline of it when you're going through the whole thing, and it's an experience all the way through. Like, my favorite rides before this were Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout and Indiana Jones, and this is my number one ride ever because it's way more than just a ride. It's a total experience from the queue line to when you get off the ride. It is just fantastic. And what's funny is you don't even feel like you're on the ride. You feel like you're actually kind of just going. You feel like you're actually like going through a rescue mission, which is awesome. Um, Oh man, that ride is just crazy. My whole family loved it too. It was amazing. We were lucky enough to get a boarding group 99, which is kind of crazy because like they said they were going to cut it off at 82, but because the park was literally dead, they got us in at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and so we rode Rise, and I love that ride so much. It is amazing. I cannot wait to ride it again. Guaranteed when I go back eventually, I'm gonna ride it like 10 times. It is an awesome experience. Um, but yeah, that's kind of my Rise of the Resistance review. It is just a phenomenal ride, 100% all the way through. Super cool. Um, it's just great. There's a lot of new rides I haven't ridden last year, like Smuggler's Run, Rise of the Resistance, and a lot of other cool rides that I kind of skipped out on last year because we didn't have a lot of time. But this year, because I already had all the credits, we got everything done. So one thing I want to do, I want to get a Smuggler's Run review out, and then kind of talk about my experience overall and why Disneyland is now my favorite park. It's no longer Knott's Berry Farm, but keep up for those, or subscribe for those videos coming up soon. And then of course I have a new series coming out called Underloved Coasters, where it's going to be like, for example, I think V2 is going to be the first episode where it's talking about coasters that I really love that don't get a whole lot of attention in the community. And so that's going to be an interesting series to work on. But anyway, guys, like this video if you enjoyed it. Go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Have a wonderful day. And we will make it through this quarantine. I promise you. If I don't get out of this quarantine by May 2nd, I'm going to be upset. But we'll make it through.